Hello.
Good morning. How are you? Happy
Hey.
Friday.
Happy Friday. Good morning. It's a good day. Yeah, it's good. How are you? I'm good.
I'm my eyes look really funny in this video. And thank you, Cottonwood Blooms, because now I sound like Tone Loc.
Oh,
My voice sound funny?
yeah. Well, I don't think you sound funny. You sound good. Yep.
Is your volume turned down a little bit?
Nope, that's up now. It's up all the
Okay.
way. Yep. Yep. All good. All good. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a hot one today. I read
It is.
92.
Hi. I just want to say hello, everybody. Greetings
Yeah.
from I Evolve TV and
Yes.
from a Fusion Radio. Boy, do I have a voice for radio today.
Yes, and your medicine woman here.
Did
How
I
you
say
feeling?
did I say Soma Fusion Radio or media? Because it's media. Why
You
would I
said
say
radio, but it's media. Yeah, I was gonna say. Ah,
Soma Fusion Media? We're a part of them. And
yes,
Eyeball TV. I'm Shannon, and
Dreama.
she's Dreama.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's this way. Shannon, Dreama.
Good
Yeah.
morning.
Good morning, and everything is awesome. And we're just like just taking the plunge today, man. Just jumping
No
in.
BS Fridays.
Right. No BS. I need my
Right.
ringer. Bing, 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 bing. It must be in the other
Ding
room.
ding.
Ding, ding. Yeah, I need my dinger. Yeah. Anyway.
Tommy boy, come in here. Quit playing with your dinghy.
Yeah.
Remember that movie?
Yes, I love that. That was one of my favorites. That was one of my favorites. It was good.
I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. So today we're just going to bounce around and talk about the effects of energy on the body, the effects of consciousness on the body. What does it do
How
to
your how your state of consciousness affects your body.
the physical
It's
body?
only the it's only the third topic that we talked about. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I didn't have a topic this morning, everybody.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was
we're
like,
I
yeah,
you know
we'll just flow
it's
with
okay.
it.
We'll just flow with it. Yeah. And I just that's how I live my whole life, just flowing with it because then it's very spontaneous and you flow out of what spirit is giving you at the moment, and that is and it never fails. You always hit the mark because you're flowing with what people need to hear maybe and what you need to talk about. So it's good.
And also yesterday there was a solar eclipse, which is when the sun gets in the shadow, and I think we have one every like June or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get better at following this stuff, but which is obviously different than a lunar eclipse, which would be the moon. So I guess there were some places. I posted it on my Facebook wall, and so if anybody wants to go reference where it could have been seen yesterday. But I
Yeah.
really feel like I mean, I'm always hearing the resonance, and it was super loud yesterday. I noticed that I turned a lot of things up and just to like muffle
Mm-hmm.
it. It was so loud,
Yeah.
um, and high pitched. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah. I was having a lot of problems with electronic stuff.
Like,
Bleeping
yeah,
out
I got
bleeping out on me, stopping in midstream. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Lots of electronic issues. Uh, uh,
there's also Mercury retrograde right now.
yeah, exactly. And and it has been a lot of intensity, but it's been a very good time for, I would say, for um, awakening to new things, setting new priorities. Um,
Hmm.
setting the record straight for yourself in many ways, things that you've been putting off, accomplishing old stuff that you've had laying around, it's time to get it done. And
Right.
so there's a good stirring with that too. So that's a good thing. Um, yeah, and I've heard a lot of people, they're just really tired. They feel a lot of tiredness.
I'm
Just
feeling very tired
the
because
body's just tired. You're moving through a lot of density, I feel like right now. And
me personally, or just like
everyone, I think in the
oh,
collective, yeah, we're all moving through a lot of density. So,
oh,
um,
okay.
and
I feel like, well, the allergy season, I can't even, I'm not going to admit to having allergies,
right,
like completely, because
yeah,
then it's a thing, right? So,
yeah, then it's
so
something, yeah,
right, I just take, an herbal, it's an herbal, like, it's called, oh my gosh, I slipped my mind. It's from Ridgecrest Herbals, and it works very good. Um, And so like if it's really bothering me, I'll take that regularly out throughout the day.
Yeah.
But just there's certain things that bloom, like if they're blooming in an abundance, that it kind of, and it's like I notice that it affects my eyes and it affects my throat,
Oh yeah.
my
Yeah, me
voice.
too. I just start sneezing and I have terrible allergies.
And I
But
haven't really been sneezing.
they've not been too bad right now, but I think it's like you said, it's the different things that are going through. A few weeks ago, when a lot of the stuff was starting to bloom, I was like terribly sneezing and just
Oh
going
yeah, I
through it.
remember that.
And now it's sort of weaned down a little bit. It's much better. I don't feel a lot of that allergic stuff going on, but it's probably what's going on right now I'm not allergic to. It was back,
Well, it rained yesterday too, so that's helpful. Like the stuff that's airborne, the cotton one, that
yes,
just wrecks me. That and rag ragwood, rag,
ragweed. Yeah, that's mine, ragweed. I can't do that. I can't do
and that's
rag.
like the yellow stuff that you see on your car and stuff, right?
It's like, yeah, I think so. It's like nasty. Doesn't
But a
work for me.
good rain is helpful for
Yeah,
you.
that was some good rain we've had. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, I was online this morning doing a little floating around, looking at some stuff, and I found an article. It was very well, it sort of hit me. I mean, we've talked about psychic attack before, and what is psychic attack,
Oh yeah,
and that is, and and when it all comes down to the base of it all, we know we are all energy. This is an energy body, and we've sort of, wrapped it in this outer shell, but really we are a light being in an energetic body.
right.
And that's why it's so important for us to remove resistance and remove things out of the light body that are causing any kind of blockage or any kind of resistance, so that we can be our healthiest and our happiest, and just sort of retain more light, because the more light we hold, the more, that's what we came for, the more we're going to be our true self.
Well,
And
and it also activates. I mean, this might rabbit hole a little bit, but it activates your dormant DNA that is protective, that should be activated if it's suppressed with negativity and
mhm.
your state of consciousness. Um, it's not like we can't always. We're not all. We're going to go through the waves of all the. That's another reason why we came here. Um,
Yes,
the full range of
of
emotions.
emotion, right.
You know,
Emotion,
oh, you haven't
emotion
failed
is
because you're feeling into something. You feel into things to heal them. So if you deny yourself that, then I'm rabbit
then
holing again.
that's a blockage in its own, right?
Yeah, yeah. So like sometimes we have to sit in those states that are not tasting like
Comfortable,
sugar. They're tasting
right.
like bitter and yucky. But
Exactly.
how would we ever be able to enjoy things like dessert if everything in life was sweet?
If everything was dessert, yeah, exactly.
Everything was dessert. Yeah,
True. I mean, if you're always on the mountaintop, how do you know about the valley? You know, I
right.
mean, I think there is that contrast. It's very important, and we go to those deep, dark places for a purpose, but we don't want to reside there, because
No.
if I had never been in the deep, dark places of my journey, how would I connect to somebody that's in that deep, dark place at all? You could never feel empathy for them, because
Or if you have gratitude that you don't live there.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Anyway, so I think that's all. It's just so powerful. It really is. And so I was grazing through, sort of like, and I found this article this person had wrote on psychic attack, and it was very good, because they started out talking about everything is light, and how they were so physically ill for most of their life till they were 40. They're very physically ill, and it took on all different manifestations. And when you go to the doctor, it was always, you have an autoimmune disorder, you have fibromyalgia, you have, because you're feeling all this pain in the body, you're feeling all this pain, and turned out they were feeling it all because they're super sensitive, and they were realizing that they're really an empath, they're psychic, they're a medium, they're a light worker. I mean, there's a whole list of them, that they were, you know, affiliating themselves with, and they're like, here it is, empaths, psychic, physical empaths, light workers, star seeds, incarnates, psychic mediums, channelers, healers. Um, so all of those type of people are going to be super sensitive, where you can like walk into a store and get sick,
Hmm.
start feeling nauseated. It happens to me all the time, or my head
Yeah.
starts spinning, and I'm like, oh, I gotta leave, and I will actually walk out
My
because
sister's like that.
makes me sick. And so that's what this person was talking about. And even as an empath, I mean, I know a lot of empaths and people that really pick up and feel energy empathically with people. Um, I
Mm-hmm.
feel that, but I don't feel it where it pains me. You know, some people will sit there and they're so empathetic, they like cry, you know. And I don't like, maybe I'm just mean. I don't cry. I don't cry for people. I really feel for them, but I can't bring it to that level of like feeling it like that, you know, where I'm like, oh, you know. And I think, you know, there's a reason for that because if I sat there and cried with anybody, how would I ever talk to them? I'd be crying the whole time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yes. You've also learned to, because that comes through the heart chakra. You've
yeah,
also learned to how to keep your energies to yourself and make those discern the difference between, oh, that's yours and this is mine. And that's when it starts to when things start to kind of when you bond or things, those energies merge together. Sometimes that's not so clear, and
yes.
that takes a lot of work to figure out how to decide where does that end and
Where
begin
you
for
stop
yourself.
and I go, yes, that's really good. I like that.
Hmm.
That's awesome. Well, then they start talking into, they go into the next part of it is negative spaces and places and coming into energetic places that have a negative feel to them. Doing a house clearing, that's where you can run into a lot of negative energy. It depends on what's happened in that house that is residually, because everything is energy, stuck there.
Hmm.
Um, so that's a really um, important thing on how that can affect your energy as you walk and move through places.
Right.
Um, uh, he talks about psychic attack coming from different places. Suicides, people who commit suicide are in an in-between place a lot of times. They never clear and move into their light because they don't realize what's really happened a lot of times. So that
Right.
energy will remain and get stuck. And if you run into that energy without understanding how to, you know, sort of handle it, it can be very overwhelming. And you know, where you connect with that. And uh, hmm, anyway, um, yeah. And then
Are you getting something? Are you?
yeah, I was like feeling a download coming here.
Yeah, I
Feel, I
could hear it in your voice because I'm doing some producer stuff right now,
Oh,
and
okay.
so I can't like see. I just clicked off the screen, but I could hear it. I could hear your energy shift, and we are connected, so I
Yeah,
probably feel
yeah,
that too.
yeah. I was feeling some. Well, I've been doing a lot of stuff work this week, so everything is very, real
Yes, you've
sensitive,
been very quiet.
really sensitive, and so I can feel a lot of stuff. I feel an energy with me right now. That's what came into my field
Okay,
when I was talking about suicide, but this is not a suicide. It's a
it's
it's a
maybe somebody
it's a
watching.
it's a transitioned energy of somebody's, yeah.
So
Um,
is it somebody that's watching? You think?
yeah, yeah, I think
Or
so. Or yeah,
all right, y'all, speak up.
yeah. Um, it's a male energy. Um, anyway, I'm gonna tell him to stop talking to me for the moment. I can't read the article and listen to talk.
Well,
I
it's
can't
okay. It's okay
don't
because
talk to me right.
we have
Um,
some viewers right now. So I
yeah,
mean, if you feel like
um,
doing that or just getting
yeah,
that,
yeah,
we can go back to the article.
yeah.
It's up to you.
Uh, he's a well, I'll just say it this way. He is a darker skinned man, younger man that passed at a younger age. Um, because that's what he showed.
Veronica Bartoloni, are you watching?
He said he shows me younger, dark hair. Um, yeah, he was very young. He seems like very young, maybe even in his maybe under 20, you know. Um,
Under 20.
under 20,
Okay.
yeah. That's what I'm like I'm saying, well, he looks like a very young man, very young man.
The very first thing I thought was Veronica's dad. That's
Oh,
the very
really?
thing. but it doesn't.
But unless he decides to show up, maybe, because I've had energies show up at different, like my daughter who has transitioned when she was an infant. She always comes to me now as a little girl, and she's
Okay.
like 30 years old now, but she always shows up as a little girl. So maybe this would be, so, energies can decide how they want to appear to you. And so he wants to appear as a young man.
Okay.
Whether that was a very great time in his life, he's very, yeah, I can't explain it. Dark hair, sort of dark skin. Um, yeah. Mm, I'm just asking what he wants to do. What do you want?
Well, my phone shows that Veronica's watching, but the accuracy of these things sometimes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
But we were
that's the
talking
first thing.
about, yeah, we were talking about suicide and maybe even death that happened very quickly. And I think that's what he's telling me. His
Oh, yeah.
passing was like this, bam. I didn't have a chance to really communicate with anybody. It just happened so quickly, and I was here and I was gone. And I just wanted to acknowledge that this is a very that even that when that happens, he says it took him time to move into his light because of that, because how quickly it happened. He said, I did not realize I was even gone. And then I was gone and I realized, wow, what happened? Holy moly, what happened? And so I was here and I'm gone. And so it took me time to assimilate and move into my light. And but now I'm fine. I'm in my light and I'm fine and everything is good.
Okay.
Um, uh,
Did you want me to share that article? Is that something that you want me to put up? You have to send
you
it to me on
can.
Facebook.
Hey, let me
Maybe that will help.
Yeah, that would help. Yeah, I agree. Let's
Okay.
do that. I'll send it to you. I think, let's see.
Okay.
It's got here. 1 second. I gotta find you. And that might be a good idea. If I can find you here. There we go. Okay. Send. Okay.
All
These
right.
are really good.
Go
Really
ahead and
good.
keep going. I'll get it pulled up in a second.
Yep, that's good. And the person goes in talking about a movie by Robin Williams called What Dreams May Come. I've never seen this movie, but it's a movie about reincarnation, suicide, mental illness. It's got a lot of things that they say it's very inspirational, and pick a time because it's going to make you cry a little bit. It's going to be very, very moving movie about a soul that commits suicide. That's a huge, heavy deal when that happens for people.
Mm-hmm.
And especially people on the after they transition their energy, it's to really regain that understanding that this happened, and or didn't happen. Sometimes people attempt and they don't, it doesn't happen, but it leaves them very I have some clients right now that I'm dealing with. It leaves them sort of in a place where they are in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Now they're very active psychically because
Oh, yeah.
they came so
Because
close
of the
to.
trauma.
Yes, yes. And so it's like anything, when you come to a huge trauma like that, it activates. And I even had a client come to me and say, I don't know why I'm so activated. And then we got really into it deeper, and Spirit was like, oh, they tried to commit suicide about 5 years ago. And I said, that's where it was right there. There was the opening. The door opened, and now you have all this psychic activity. You're sensing spirits and all this because you came to the door there. And between you were right on the verge here. You're living in the midst of the door.
Right.
So that's why it happened. Okay, well now this young man has brought a woman with him. He went and got somebody else. I feel like
Okay.
it's his mother.
Okay.
He says mama. Yeah, so he went and got his mama.
Oh.
And she, yeah, and he's very they're very excited. Whoever this is, they're very excited to connect with you today, and just to let you know that everything is good and that they are fine. And Mama is wearing an apron. She enjoys cooking, and she enjoyed cooking in this realm, and she still enjoys it. Um, and she cooks everything by like from scratch. It's like this woman is amazing, and
Okay.
it's not American food. This is
Okay.
yeah, this is different. Um, it's not. It's like she's got lots of. She shows me all kinds of peppers and all kinds of fresh tomatoes and fresh stuff. She cooks with all fresh good stuff, and yeah, interesting. Um, and she just like and she's she's like love. She's throwing kisses. Oh, love. This is how she, I think that might have been her demonstration when she was here in this realm. Just like "Oh, giving you love. I just send you love, and so she sends love and to everyone and all her friends and um, mostly family that are still here in this realm.
All right. I
Okay.
sent Veronica a text separate, like, because she may have popped on and said hello, and who knows.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. I
But
think it's
I
very,
said,
I feel like it's
so
very much connected to her, honestly. Um, uh,
I don't. I mean, that was the first thing that
it came
plopped
to
into
you.
my brain. So whether it
Okay.
is or not.
Yeah. Well, so he talks about being in negative energies and how we can call upon Archangel Michael. And Michael has the sort of light to banish negative energies and call upon other archangels to eliminate negative energies.
Am I
Okay.
in the right? Am I in the
Yeah,
right
you are.
spot of the? Okay.
Yep, you are. You're exactly right where I was at. Yeah, go on
Okay. Good.
down.
Keep
I'm
going.
on the part psychic attack and the symptoms. It's a little
Well,
farther.
if anybody's ever watched the documentary Heal,
Yeah.
I highly recommend it.
Oh, yeah.
Heal.
That's fantastic.
And that talks about this specifically, that when if you're in the state of, you know I guess there's lots of, you know identify, we talk about, oh my gosh, so and so is a Debbie Downer, or
Yeah.
don't be a Debbie Downer. It is part of our language.
Yes.
Or what are some of the other things that people say? Just the negativity, of because those are the things that those processes come out of our mouths. What we're thinking about comes out. So what are some other things that we say? Oh, I really like spending time with Dreama, but she's such an Eeyore. That's amazing. I don't actually say that about you. I'm just saying, I'm just
I know.
using you
I
as
know.
an example.
Yeah.
But those people that are like, oh, I lost my tail,
Yeah. Right.
and then
Yeah.
I walked down the street and lost my tail. Like,
Yeah.
it is happening. That
It's that.
that
Yeah.
somebody
It's
that I
that.
refer to as an Eeyore.
Yeah. It's that
It's
heavy feeling that you get, and you're like, I don't want to participate.
oh
It's just so much.
yes, it feels so thick, and it's not as though I don't feel like I should support somebody that has had a bad day. I mean, they do, right? So, and so do I. I mean, I'm not exempt from that by any stretch.
Yeah.
But if that's the state in which they function all the time, it still doesn't mean that I don't like them. It
No.
just
No, it's
I
draining though. It's draining
I
your life force.
I emotionally carry that. Yeah, like when you feel like you have to sage yourself
Yes,
after
before you
being
leave.
around somebody,
Yeah.
that's what it feels like. And
Yeah.
it just feels like things are getting drained. And after they've told you all their, aches, pains, and woes, and everything, and how what's wrong with the world, then you feel like, you take on some of that vibration because you're connected with your heart
Mm-hmm.
often, right?
Yes.
So that is incredibly hard to be around. And then, they feel better, or they feel great. They're suddenly
Yeah.
smiling. You haven't seen them
Just
smile
drained
for
all
3
of
days.
they just drained all you drained it all out and took it on yourself. It's like, yeah, so they're gonna feel great now. And you're gonna feel like poo, you know. Yeah, if you absorb all that. And the symptoms, the symptoms of a psychic attack or overloaded energetic overload would be your life force is getting pulled from your heart chakra.
Oh,
It is a feeling of void or hollow, and usually from the back of the life force is being taken. You can get lightheaded and painful headaches. Uh,
where is that in the article?
yeah,
Where
it's
is
keep
that in?
going down. think it shows a picture of a lady. Keep going down. More, more, more. Or yeah, keep scrolling.
Ooh,
That was my phone. Um, that's suicides. Yep, it's right on
okay.
down. There's the movie. You're almost there. On your energy, yeah. Um, if you go into space, I think it's even farther down. Yeah, there you go. Psychic attack and the symptoms. This is where we're
Okay.
at. Yep. Yep. You'll feel woozy, loss of energy rapidly, and you can feel sharp pains in the body, usually in the torso, abdomen, sides of the body. This article is really right on. I'm telling you, very good and accurate because those are all the feelings I get, honestly. The lightheaded, painful headaches. Um, I can get done with a session a lot of times and end up with very painful headaches because I've taken on all of that energy and now I've got to dispel it. It's like I suck it all out and somebody else leaves and they're like feeling great, great, you know. They're like, yeah,
Right.
I feel great now. I feel really like crap. Um, so you have to be careful. This is real and should be taken very seriously. Anyone thinking badly about you is performing psychic attack, even if they don't know it. Spells aren't necessarily for energy to hit you and affect you negatively. At the same time, understand that if you are sitting around having negative thoughts, you are doing that yourself. You're psychically attacking somebody and it's going to reflect on you.
Yeah.
Um, so you don't want to do that. You sit around and think negative about people or what's going on. Um, if you find yourself doing this, stop, take a deep breath, center yourself, and you will not think these things and instead decide to feel and send love.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was the next. This is about energy vampires, narcissists, and negative people and false guides and healers.
Oh,
Um,
I was just trying to change the Zoom because I was getting lost in the article. That's just, I don't like that face. That scared the crap out of me.
yeah, yeah, that's where I came to that place, and I did not know there was a NPD. Did you ever hear about that
Yeah, narcissistic personality disorder, the DSM.
disorder? I've
It's
never heard of
it's
such a.
it's like part of the cluster B personality disorders.
Okay,
And I don't have, I can look it up, but the DSM-5, um, it I don't think it's you would just have characteristics of narcissistic. It's not an actual diagnosable disorder. Does that make sense? Because
mm,
lots of things have look like narcissism or are have aspects of characteristics of, like, if you have borderline personality disorder or even dissociative personality disorder, which means that you have multiple alters essentially. Um, so
ah,
that would be the multiple personality that's disassociative. But so like you don't get, I don't, that's not an actual diagnosis, I don't believe, unless something has
okay,
changed. I don't think it has, but um, there's just characteristics of is what would be in somebody's diagnosis. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah,
Reading psych reports over the years, that's just usually how it gets. I don't know.
yeah. I yeah.
Well, it sounded like a burp. You just said,
I was doing Tina, what's her name? On Bob's Burgers, the daughter,
Oh,
what she does sometimes,
oh, okay.
when she's stuck. Uh, the problem with empaths turned narcissists is at some point their natural human program was flipped, usually due to some
Yeah,
trauma. These
yeah,
people can still pick up on energy just as easily. However, they have been turned negative and self-serving through their energetic attachments, and they are incapable of receiving and giving love. And it's twisted.
yeah. So usually it's there's a family dynamic that they're inappropriate attachments from the family of origin usually, and so that so a narcissist can be, um, that personality can be shaped, not for like almost spoiling a kid. There has to be a balance, or complete neglect. So they just swing the other way, and does that make sense?
Sort of. Sort of.
Usually there's a parent that has some level, and it's not like, you know it's it's like there's you're get labeled a narcissist or with narcissistic characteristics, that they're all like extreme this way. There's going to be varying levels of it, And
Right.
truth be told, I mean, having some narcissism, like you might not call it narcissism, but are part of our normal human experience. It's just that these people,
What is
go
narcissist
beyond.
way?
Sorry, what?
What's the definition of narcissist? Do you know?
Oh, I'll look it up. Yeah, because I don't want to like. I've already
Yeah.
kind of butchered a lot of this. So
I don't sort of don't understand totally what the technical um,
and it comes from
definition is.
Greek mythology, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, there was a person
I
that
mean, this is
was
something that,
so enamored with their own reflection in the pool of water. Like,
oh, yes,
do you remember
I
this
remember
story?
reading about that. Yeah, yeah. That, it's like every time I turn around, this is a word I keep getting thrown, at me that people are feeling they're either around people that are like this or they're having problems with people like this. And I'm like, okay, I sort of understand a narcissist in the sense of being all about themselves.
Yeah,
And it's all about themselves, and everything is all about them. Um, but then I think that behavior is even more, what would you call it? It's even more emphasized in when people, there's always somebody that is enabling it. You know what I'm saying? There's
absolutely.
the narcissist, and then there's the enabler that's right there
But
with them.
they're but a narcissist, like somebody that's like true, like really. First, they would never admit that they are narcissistic,
Oh,
and if they
okay.
do, it's for to placate somebody, but they don't actually believe that. So they would never self help that,
Okay.
unless they're like kind of like there's some kind of reward like that they find valuable. So, but somebody true to form would you know they would just they it's called the narcissistic supply, the narcissist supply. Like it's an energy supply. It's literally feeding off somebody else's loosh.
Oh,
So they would
okay.
just so they always have some kind of supply, and they always have a backup supply in some level. And it might be something that we don't even realize, and it might not be directly those relationships that should be intimate and romantic, or that type of relationship, which would, I mean, we all have examples of somebody that was like that, but it might be something that you just don't even think of, and it's just everybody's so different. So
Yeah.
it's up on the screen.
Okay.
Cluster B personality disorder is considered to be one of the least identified personality disorders because they don't want to work on it. I mean, they wouldn't. They don't see there's anything wrong with them.
Okay.
So,
Got you.
um, so there's a good number of patients with narcissistic traits present in the psychiatrist's office with other types of issues such as anxiety and depression, certainly.
Okay.
And there's some people that like will display narcissistic characteristics in one area of their life too. Maybe it's not in their home life, but maybe it's in their career. So it can be all kinds of different things in balance. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. And how
Where
toxic
was I in this? I'm
it
sorry.
really
What?
is. I was saying that's interesting how toxic it is. How
Yeah.
real toxic it is for people that are around these people. They're like they want to. And a lot of times it's their family members. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're stuck with
It,
these family members.
it appears
That
to be
are,
more widespread in males and females for unknown reasons. However, if you've ever had a mother that is a martyr narcissist, that's probably not so true because you see it in examples of it all over the place. And because they're not going to be, how are you going to get demographics on these people?
right, right. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder, I mean, I'd like to know, well, I just have to ask the spirit where the origin of this starts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is
Well,
it,
their family of origin, their birth family, or
yeah,
whatever.
it
But
has to start as soon as they're born.
yeah,
Was,
so they're prone to grandiosity. Like the world's coming to the end because their sock got wet or something. It's just
oh,
miserable.
okay. The drama queens.
Yeah,
Drama,
yeah.
chaos and drama. They love it. Yeah.
they seek excessive admiration. So maybe it's not necessarily in their home life because those there again, there's just varying degrees of how narcissistic somebody would be.
Okay.
Lack empathy, just cannot say, oh, I can see myself in your shoes. I might do something the same or different. They can't really see
Can't
that,
do that.
and you'll see that in relationships where you tell somebody how you feel repeatedly about something,
Okay.
and they still kind of like swing it back around and try to do those same things repeatedly, and never like acknowledging or hearing that you about how you feel about it.
Exactly. I see. Okay.
You see those a lot, but again, that's just one
Right.
facet, right?
Is that the same thing as sort of gaslighting?
Gaslighting is like is a technique.
Okay, but it's not the same. These people don't like be like what would you call it? Gaslighters all the time.
Oh yeah, they gaslight all the time. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was feeling. Yeah, they're like they got the gas on all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
let's see, where was I? Lack of empathy. So you can read it on the screen, but
Okay.
they're going to show up mostly in their interpersonal relationships the most.
Alrighty. Mm.
Only and it's the relationships that they feel the most safe in. You know.
That's the ones they're gonna totally destroy.
Hmm.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
That's very sad. Honestly, it is. It's very sad. It's absolutely, like everything, it's a learned behavior,
Yep.
Um,
So it's a lot of self-importance, and that can be overt, covert. It can be. It doesn't necessarily. It's not necessarily that person that you know. Uh, you see them, you're like, oh my gosh, that person's so narcissistic. Not necessarily. It can be somebody that's completely covert about it.
okay.
Um, Fixation on with fantasies of infinite success, control, brilliance, beauty, idyllic love. So they
Uh,
fixate on those fantasies, which are just not accurate.
right.
Um,
Mm.
um, they're
Wow.
always trying to, I mean, like name dropping, somebody that excessively name drops because they're trying to put themselves in a more
Oh,
position of more admiration. Um, you know, where
okay.
instead of saying like, "Hey, I know this guy that blah 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 blah," they're gonna maybe say, "I know this guy who knows like some celebrity or something," or they're
Right.
they're always trying to like, or the person that's like constantly one upping. Like if you tell them a story and they one up you in their version of their own experience with the same type of thing because of course they're better than you, right? So
Right. Yeah. Are you ever met those people that they have to tell you everything and how much they paid for it? I mean, like
yeah.
big money. I paid $700 for that. I paid $500 for that purse. And you're like, really? I don't care.
And I don't think that I've not ever like done that, but usually it's because hey, I got this $200 sweater for $25.
Well,
Isn't
oh
that
yeah,
cool?
I do it the other way around. I got that for
Yeah,
five
it's
bucks. Can you believe it?
but that could be a narcissistic quality too because it's always like I find better deals than anyone else that I know. Like that could
Right.
be that too. It's just that, I don't think you and I every time we have a conversation we're talking
That's
about
not the
that.
primary thought, right? Exactly. I don't
Right.
care. I
No.
do get excited about a good deal. I'll have to admit
I know, right? Um, Sense of entitlement,
Okay.
um, and interpersonally oppressive behavior. So, like, even though they come off as like very confident or very capable, in you can see that the mouth talks, but
Hmm.
the body ain't doing the same. Like the same, it's they're not that's not a mirror reflection of what they're saying. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
they just basically, I want to be the star of the show, but I don't want to learn any of the lines. I don't want to actually put any work into that. I mean, those are lots of different examples, but
Hmm. Wow.
not being able to
Think
be
though that
empathetic. Yeah,
don't you think that the whole that social media and everything around us promotes this behavior
I think yeah, it does. I don't know if that it promotes it so much as
or enables it, whatever? I don't know.
enables it. Well, it's accepted,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah. Sort of
and I
like
think a lot of it. Sorry.
it's all right. No, I was just thinking it's sort of like the mix, It just sort of it's like it's the ingredients for what we live, We live in a very inward society that's all about our own successes, and it's just unfortunate, and chaos is part of it. It's just unfortunate, but I feel
I
like
think
it's
that,
yeah, you're
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you and
Oh, no,
got
no, I'm
some
sorry.
sense.
I think I interrupted you because I'm
Well, I think that culturally, and I hate to like do the whole like generation X, Y, Z,
yeah,
PDQ, I don't know, whatever.
yeah,
But when we started doing things like um, making sure that fair doesn't necessarily mean equal,
yeah.
and so I think when we've done more like the participation award things that we've shaped some kids' personalities in that way. No,
Hmm.
it's okay to continue to have. We didn't teach them how to like lose a game and still continue to have self worth. We didn't focus on that. How about
Yes,
that? Because
yes,
we're
that's
not going
right.
to win everything.
Mm,
And I've had this conversation just being with being in education and some parents, and parents being very helicoptery in situations where I'm doing a lot of supporting of the parents' role to say, hey, you know what? If they do get a D on that assignment, it's not
yeah,
because of something that you didn't do. It's their work. You've already been through the ninth grade.
that's
It's
right.
their turn to go through the ninth grade, and they're responsible for that work. And let's have them have some failures in school in those school years, because when they're 25 and they do it, and we're always bailing them out, and then they end up in
Yeah.
jail because now they're not in effect. They can't handle life because they don't know how to
Mhm,
continue to have self worth with not getting what they want, or
mhm.
this is then you end up having like the teacher role ends up being kind of a parent support role in a lot of ways
Yeah,
because of things like this. And we're seeing now that the parents that were maybe the tail end of the participation award kids are having kids. So this is fun.
oh,
you know.
yeah, exactly. It shows you the role the teacher has changed in the last 50
Oh
years.
gosh, it's crazy. It's
My
and
God, it's
sometimes
different.
and
Yeah.
it changes moment to moment sometimes.
Yes, and I was watching what you made me think of a second ago. I seen a video yesterday on a TikTok video. I don't get on TikTok, but it was on Facebook, and it was this. Yeah, you might have seen it. This guy, and he's at the sink, and there's a pile of dishes, and it says in the '80s, and he's like doing dishes, and he's jamming out. Yeah, yeah, and then the mother comes up, puts more dishes, and is like, okay, yeah, and then it goes the '90s, and then he shows him the dishes, and he's like jamming out. The mom comes up with more dishes, and he's like, really? Okay. And keeps going. And then it shows 2000 and the mom comes up with the dish and he goes, I didn't create this. I didn't do this. I can't handle this. It was so funny. I was like, oh my God, this is the depiction of the difference in young people from the 80s to the 90s to the 2000. But just like you said, that idea of, I didn't create this. What is this? This is not mine. I need, I can't handle this, I'm not doing it. It's I had to laugh. Sorry, because I'm an old person. I mean, I remember the difference in generations. When I was young, you didn't, everybody didn't get an award and you had to do the dishes and you had to do them right. My mother would stand there and put them back in. If I handed it and said, I'm done. Nope, there's something here. Put it right back in the water and make me do it again. And those were lessons, that I took into life my whole life that said, if it isn't right, you're going to do it again, you know?
Right.
You
Yep.
just
Well, we all do on some
yep,
level.
yep, really. You got to repeat, do it,
Yep.
rinse and repeat, and you learn those lessons. But if you're, like you said, if you constantly are handed something and, well, it's okay, just dismiss it, just to get everybody, it's all okay. You know what I mean? It's all
Right.
okay. It's okay all the time. So it's amazing. But what a journey, huh?
Yeah, for sure. So the last
Yeah.
two bullet points on here is resentment of others, or conviction that others are resentful of him or her. You know,
Okay.
um,
Yeah.
we all know people that are, have some and just because they have some, you know, they display one of these things on a couple occasions, that doesn't mean that they're narcissistic, because, we probably all have everyone
Yes.
single. That doesn't mean it, because this is a chronic thing. This is something that that is displayed with regularity as part of their personality, who they are.
Yeah.
A display of egotistical, conceited behaviors or attitudes. Again, very, very shallow, because that's what they want to project out to the world. And who doesn't, right? Like not maybe autistic or conceited, but that they are, this powerful being, and they're, the prettiest belle in the ball, or like the most successful, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
whatever their thing is.
Yeah. Wow.
Maybe all the above.
Yeah.
So there, that's narcissist.
That's what a narcissist is. Okay, so that's really good.
Yes.
So
And if
we
anybody is really, really interested in like all these nuances of, of all this, the Little Shaman on YouTube is fabulous. I could just listen to all of her stuff all the time. She's amazing.
really
The Little
cool.
Shaman.
The little
Yep.
shop. Awesome. I like that.
Mhm.
Um, let's see here. Anxiety, depression, stress, anger, sadness, judgment, shame are all the lowest frequencies a person can experience. That's where I'm at down here in this article a little bit. The
Okay.
negative attachments create these feelings in people by triggering through process, moving the person in such a way that they are feeling in a more negative than positive energy. That's why it's so important to, you know,
I'm lost in the article again. You'll have to
yeah,
tell me where I'm
let's see,
at.
where are you? Hold on. Where are you at? Let's see. Yeah, on down more. You're in the narcissist still. That's what we just went through. Stop, slow down, slow down. Nope, we're still in narcissist. Keep going. We're still going there. Okay. Oh, okay. What is that? Nope, I don't.
False healers?
False healer. I ain't there yet. Well, we can go down to that because our time element is running out anyway. But yeah, false healers
Okay.
are can be anyone from a doctor to a therapist, energy worker, a guru, a yogi, a
Yogi.
psychic, or a medium. Those in this world who come off as people who want to help you, but the bottom line, they are false. They
Yes.
assume a position of power, helping and healing, spiritual guidance only get closer to people who are vulnerable, and they pull
Yes.
from the life force. Yes, that's good.
Talk. Have you ever met any spiritual gaslighters?
Yes, I have. I
I have.
have, definitely. And
And that would be a false healer. Yeah.
that's a false healer. Yes, and um, yeah, you can definitely tell the difference, honestly. And um, it's when you leave a place with your when you're with somebody like that, you absolutely feel exhausted when you're gone, and you're
Well,
like this.
how do
This
if they were telling you something, they're giving you some direction or guidance, and you told them that you disagreed,
Yeah. Oh,
that's
they
one
would.
way to know.
That's what. Yeah. Right.
Then you'll
Immediate.
know.
You're going to get a reaction. Ah!
That
It's
that
not
is a
a really
great
good
way
one
to
either.
know.
Exactly. Or how can you anything where somebody says you have to circle your wagons around what I believe, or you're out. You know what I mean? Or you're wrong. I got.
Right.
I'm like, nope. I'm not. Not happening. Um, because I have my own higher self. I don't need you to tell me.
Yeah. Those
I
that
can.
work in the light will always make you feel better. And
Yeah.
I like that because that's just a general term, the work in the light. That just means that they're a good person that's open and their heart's open for healing people. That's what working in the light, whether they
Mm,
identify themselves as a light worker or whatever. I don't even know what that really means.
yeah. Yeah.
But
That's true. And um, I mean, yeah, that's true.
mhm.
Yeah, I have another energy on this side of me now, another older lady that's
Oh,
bothering me. Grandmother type energy. She's older, and she's been here. She reminds me uh, of the lady that had the old grandmother that carried the bird. That's why I keep seeing the bird cage, Tweety bird cage. Like I keep seeing she
okay.
keeps showing me a bird cage, and so she must have loved birds. Maybe that's her identification. She's because I always ask an energy when it appears. I say, okay, so what do you identify with, so that I can give it, give that
Right.
to the client, and the person will recognize, oh, that's my grandma. She loved birds. She had a bird, whatever. And so that's what she keeps identifying with is this bird cage. So she must have loved birds, and she just wants to let you know she's good and still loving birds, whoever you are. That this is your grandmother. Um, um,
By the way, Veronica says that was her dad and her nana.
Perfect. That's yeah. She was just really, and he's very
Sorry.
handsome. He's a very handsome guy, and she was just really excited with all the food. Yeah. This
That's cute.
this grandmother. Well, now the thing about this grandmother, she's telling me that she was an older mother. She didn't have the children till she was much later in life. So she's like, I might look like a grandmother, but really I'm an older mother.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So that's just putting that out there, whoever you are. Um, and that's this is your mom. She just wanted to step forward and say hello and that she's well and everything is good,
Okay.
and she's made it. She's in her light and she's doing very well and still loving birds, obviously. Still loving the birds. Anyway, so what's our time there? Oh, we're running right at
Yeah.
our.
So the whole like
So yeah.
I wanted to go back to the light. Somebody that works in the light will always make you feel better.
Yes.
They hold space for you to do your own healing. So I don't necessarily agree with that whole sentence, but that's okay. I mean, I think the intention is there, you know, because we're ultimately they help you facilitate your own healing. It's always us doing our own work,
Yes.
which is
Exactly.
very self empowering.
And that's it right there. I always tell everybody, I can't heal you. I will guide you to helping you heal yourself. And that's what I'm going to work as your guide. And that's all I can do for you. And that, I'm just be
We
the
can
guide.
we can push in a little bit into 9 o'clock. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
Uh, a psychic attack in your sleep. Ooh, that's well
That
read.
happened to me the other night.
Really?
I called out and everything. I swear I did.
Wow, really?
My heart was pounding. I felt I when I get really vivid dreams,
Yeah.
it's probably lucid. It's probably lucid dreaming because I'm when you can actually feel touch and you can textures and you smell like your
Hmm.
more of your sensories are turned on. That's what happened. Like I felt people grabbing my arm. I and trying to pull me out of my house and trying to push into my house. It was so like if there was two people and I swear to you, like if I saw them, I would like in this
You would know
dimension,
that.
like I would
Yeah.
know who they are. Like it
Yeah.
was that real.
Wow.
It it scared the out of me.
Yeah, yeah, it can be very scary. I've had those before myself, and they're very real. It's like it's happening to you right there. And
Yes, that would be. I mean, that kind of in a nutshell is what a psychic attack would feel like.
yeah,
You
psychic
know,
attack would, and then you wake up and it has drained your energy force, and so you've got to sort of just pull yourself back together, align
yeah,
yourself, come into a good conscious state and be like, okay, so what happened here? And I'm going to pull into my energy and just imagine a beautiful white light, a bubble of light coming around yourself. Um, and if you're in a position where you have to go into a place where you are feeling like, oh man, I don't want to go in there, just imagine, call on that white light, bubble of light, put it around yourself, a
yeah.
protection, and then go in there. You're totally protected.
Your disco ball
Yep,
of
totally
white
protected.
light or your
And move.
egg, your
Yep, you
human
can move in.
egg.
Oh my, the next chapter. Did you see that?
Yeah, yes, but
Yeah.
I also this person is saying for most people they cannot connect to that level while they're awake. Not everyone is a psychic or a channel, at least not while they're awake. Yeah, I would agree because everybody is a psychic and everybody is channels and everybody is some level of medium. It's just their ability to tap into that consciously is varying. So
Yes. Yes. The next part they have here is on sex. I don't understand what that would be, but how would you uh
um,
sex
Veronica
energy?
actually talks about this a little bit more. So doing things that would be like porn, phone sex trafficking, adultery,
Okay.
that drains your life force.
Okay.
Even too much masturbation
That's what I've
because
heard.
it is
I heard
potent.
that today. Well, drain your life force.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why like monks and priests and nuns
Hmm.
of many different
Uh,
religions, because I think even in the Buddhist religion, there's a vow of celibacy at some point. Um,
okay.
that's why, because they want it all to go up your
They hold
Shishuma
that
line,
light
all
there.
that life source energy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That
when
makes
we're connecting, when you're engaging in that behavior in an intimate, hopefully in a safe, intimate relationship, then that's magnified because your hearts are connected. So
yes.
even if it's a safe relationship that maybe isn't going to be long term, but maybe something that is still safe and mutually respectful. So, I mean, there's some of those things that maybe in religion that we don't agree with. This is one that I actually I'm on the side of Christianity, and because we really need to be careful of where we're attaching
Yeah.
those energies and with
Yes.
who.
Yeah. Sexual energy is very powerful. Very
Hmm.
powerful. And when two hearts connect like that, psychically, emotionally, everything, physically, it's kaboom, explosion. But I just heard that like a week ago about draining your life force, and a man and even, or, men and women draining their life force with masturbation or whatever, and that you had to be really careful. You don't want to drain your life force out. And that,
But I mean, there's just like, moving your body and or turning, doing some inversions like in yoga or
yeah,
like in CrossFit, like we do handstands and stuff like that. And you come up and your head just, you might feel lightheaded for a minute, but then there's a flood of fresh blood.
yes.
I mean, there is a time and a place, right? So that, you need to like release some things too. So
Right, yeah, you got to be on both sides of it. Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
I'm, but it made me think about some of the times that I feel like, I'm very guided by spirit, and when I'm gonna have, I will have right before, like I have a huge session, say with a client, and I will just
I
totally,
wasn't sure what you were going
yeah,
where.
I will totally
Okay.
be very interested in that, because in having any kind of sexual experience, I feel like I'm going to be become very contained, because I want to preserve all my energies for this, and it isn't even something I think about. It's just sort of naturally happens,
Yeah.
and then I'll have this huge session, and it's over, and then I'm totally released again,
Yeah.
so I think it just sort of spirit just sort of flows with that. Okay, the next section is the dark and black magic spells, hexes, and etc.
And we
Wow.
should probably clarify, like this could be, I mean, it could be something formal as that title as you just read, but it can
Yes,
also be somebody just wishing ill things upon you. That's a
there.
hex. That is
That's right.
dark.
That's
And so, you know, that's all that it is. So, you know,
words are powerful, and
that's
that's why
right. That's the
that's why they call
spellcast.
it spelling, because we literally we can cast spells with our words, and
That's
words
exactly
are
right.
are powerful. So you have to watch what you say about other people, and the energy you focus on somebody. That's why uh, it's so important to watch what you say, really, honestly,
Well,
with
and
everything.
your thoughts too. Like if you have this internal mantra every time you see somebody, I hate that person. I hate that person.
Yeah, I
Like
really, exactly.
that you're hexing them too. Like but that's kind of like one of those things in the rule of a threefold rule. Like if
Yes,
you need to heal that in you. You don't need to be spending time on putting energy towards hating somebody. That just is gonna bite you later on. So you know,
yes. I agree with this article. It says, stay away from those who do dark magic and don't ever get involved. There are no safe spells or hexes. There's no dark or black magic. I don't care who or what, or they tell you otherwise.
yeah.
So just about staying clean, staying clear of anything, any dark practices, negative energies. Then it goes into possession. Ooh, no thanks.
Well,
This,
but that I mean that's a really really profound.
that's another subject.
That's another
Um,
subject, and that's really profound. Um, like when somebody's actually takes on another entity, right?
Other,
So it's very
yes,
profound. But I don't know about you, but some of the I think that sometimes possession is a little bit like programming. Because like I've seen people like quick flash into something else, some other, um, it's their emotional state. Obviously, that's
Yeah.
going to be really obvious. But where somebody's smiling at you in one moment, and then you turn around, and you look back at them, and they're like everything shifted.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a form of possession too.
Right.
So these things that we talk about that people are like, oh, that's just crazy. Well, because you're looking for the really profound thing, and it's not. That's not how it works. It
No, it
just
doesn't.
isn't.
Well, it's not Hollywood. On
It's not
Hollywood,
how.
you say anything that's having to do with the supernatural in Hollywood is Hollywood. It's got to be, it's big, it's weird, it's dramatic because it's like,
And I could go into a very lively, colorful story about the time I took my aunt to North Carolina,
yeah,
but
oh yeah.
I don't know that.
Yeah,
I laugh
exactly.
now. It was not funny. It was
No,
not
it
funny
was
at
not.
all. And I
No.
had how many healings did I have to come to after? Like two or
Yeah.
three, because it was
Yeah.
I was so traumatized.
Oh man, yeah, that's
But
huge.
I was on my way back, and my dad, I got her home from coming back, and my dad met me at for breakfast because I was just exhausted from driving all night. And he asked me, he said, "Did you see the demon fly out of her?" And I'm like, "I sure did. I sure did." Like in a moment, she went from one state of, like it was just
One state of
a
consciousness
demon. I mean, it
to
was
another.
a demon. I don't even know how else. I mean, that's how it
Mm,
is.
yep, that's
And the
it.
next moment, flash into like, "Oh, I love you." Like she talks funny when she gets like that, and I'm like, "What just happened?" It was bizarre. It was so
Oh my.
bizarre.
I mean, I've got my stories too. I've been through some stuff where I know people were they had attachments and entity stuff going on. And so yeah, like literally I was trying to hold a woman down one time. I sat on her.
I remember
So,
that.
yeah.
Good thing you're
So
little.
yeah, it was interesting. So I've had experiences with this, totally, and I prefer not to, but sometimes you have no choice, you have to deal with stuff. But so
Uh,
what is
Alcohol, yes, alcohol and doing substances can allow more things. It's kind of like opening that
yeah,
door.
it's going to shift your vibration definitely, and to a place maybe you don't want to, it's going to change your vibratory energy when you do that. Um, TV and video game portals
Oh
can
yes, this
shift
is a good thing
energy.
to bring up. Like I'm
Okay.
very specific about like things I'm going to watch or not watch. Like I'm just not like I just don't need to feed that in my life.
No, I can't either. I just can't. That's a funny thing yesterday. That's my client asked me after our session. I was really tired. She's like, "You're really tired, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, now it's time for some funny, good TV because I have to
Yeah,
watch funny shows now." She said, "Oh, I bet you can't watch horror flicks." I said, No, can't do it. Never could.
me
I have to
neither.
be
Never.
high vibration, stay in high, funny energy. Everything's got to stay funny."
But
And
some things that are like portrayed for entertainment that people would think a lot of people would think was really scary. I don't think it's scary at all. Like just having this existence is scary.
yeah,
But if it's rapey, torture, anything like that, I'm out.
I
Not
can't watch,
happening.
I can't watch war movies either, where they're like in a war. I can't handle that. I don't know. Now World War, like Civil War. I don't know why that doesn't get me as much, but it's
Huh.
like the more war after that. Can't do that.
I
Um,
just don't think it's not entertaining
no, it's not to me.
at all.
Nope.
By any stretch.
No.
No.
It's for some people it is, and my even my
And then
children,
there's them.
my kids,
They
they
probably
love
need to.
horror movies. I can't do that.
I, I I mean, I just think it's how. But if you really sat down and had that conversation with them, like I bet that they would change their mind. Like if they're truly a loving person, like
Hmm.
what is it about this that you find entertaining?
That you find entertaining about it. Yeah, yeah. I was talking to somebody the other day about the Chucky movies and stuff about dolls coming to life, you know. I'm like, I've never seen any of
I've
them,
never
but
seen it.
I don't think I'd wanna, because I don't want to think about dolls coming after me. I'm like, no,
Well,
that,
yeah,
I,
exactly. Well, we
uh,
should probably stop because it's
yes,
getting into my,
it's getting late. Yes.
yeah, it's getting late.
Well, this is
But
good.
eliminating dark energies is kind of where we stopped. I think that's kind of a given.
Yes, that's good. This has been so good. Thank you so
Yes,
much. Been very
yes,
good. And thank you to everybody that
certainly.
tuned in, and thank you to all our visitors that stopped in today to say hi.
Yeah.
The bird lady, and um, Mama and son. That was awesome. And we just thank everyone. It was beautiful, and thank you. You're beautiful. And
Oh, thank you.
uh,
I did. I'm sorry, Jennifer. I'm just seeing your message. I'm looking at two different screens, and she asked if she wanted to do a reading with you. How would she go about doing that? And
uh,
Jennifer, I can send you
yeah,
Dreama's
send
because
her my
actually,
number or whatever, and you can text me. Just send me a text message, and then
I'll change our graphic and I'll put it up on here.
you can get a hold of me, and we'll set a plan. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Tell me your phone number 616.
617 1367.
Uh,
And if you send me a text, sort of notation it, what you're contacting me for, so I don't go, I don't know you.
all
That's
right. Exactly.
people call me and I don't know them. I'm like, I don't answer. So if you note
Oh,
it, oh, I am
I hit the wrong
inquiring,
one. There we go.
I'm inquiring about appointment. Yeah,
There
then
you go, Jennifer. It's up on the screen, but if you miss it, no big deal. Um, I'll give it to you. I'll send it to you.
beautiful.
But yeah, definitely Dream is available for, and Jennifer's local, so she could come to you, or
Oh, beautiful.
yeah, so it
Okay,
wouldn't have to be a Zoom or call or
it's just
whatever.
a Zoomer.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Zoomer.
love.
Yeah, my students. It's so funny because their classroom teacher will say, because I'm a support teacher, so she'll say, okay, Zoomers and roomers. So there's some kids that are face to face. There's some that are still
Oh,
at home. We're learning
really?
remotely. So
Yeah.
she'll refer to them as the Zoomers and the roomers. I think that's really
Oh, that
cute.
is cool. I love it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all
So
beautiful.
well, what did we start out talking about? Oh, how
How
yeah, your state of consciousness affects your physical
affects
body. We
physical.
really got sidetracked.
Yeah, we
Maybe
went all
we'll.
over though, a lot of rabbit trails, but still, it all
It's
is
all
absolutely true. And
it's all relatable. It's all
yeah,
related, but I think maybe we could probably come back to that.
yeah, it's all, yeah,
In fact, I'll write it down.
it's all relatable. That's very true. And how because what we feel and what we go through psychically very much affects everything in the body. So it's very good.
Yes, the documentary Heal. I cannot recommend that enough.
I know that was a fantastic show.
I think
Fantastic
I've seen it four
movie.
times.
Movie. Yeah, I've watched it I think 3 times so far. And I keep pulling people over that don't aren't able to watch it and say, "Watch it with me," because it's so
Yes,
good.
I'm
It's
writing this down.
very very it absolutely what would you call it? It sort of just opens the doors and to all those modalities and stuff that I've used myself and know people that do and to bring healing to people. It's amazing and greatest thing ever. So,
Yes. Alrighty, so we should probably wrap it up. I'll see you. I'll see you next Friday, if not before.
next Friday, if not before. Okay, bye, honey. I love you.
All
See
right.
you later.
Have a great day.
Namaste. Blessings,
Bye.
everybody.
Oh wait,
Thank
I gotta get our. I'm clicking all over the place. Clickety click. Here we go. Have a
you. There.
great day. Bye.
Bye.